San Diego had this celebration of the rabbits being in San Diego. And I was there on behalf of the SD Rabbit Society.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the last episode of Photographer Profile in 2024. I have a special guest today, Ivan S. Harris. Hey, Ivan, how are you doing?
Hey, hello. How are you? I'm happy to be here. I just want to put that out there right now. Just, I don't even want to be cliche. Like, let's just go to it. I am happy to be here.
Merry Christmas. Happy almost New Year.
Same to you. I've got my mug and everything, so I'm definitely ready.
Yeah, just give the people watching an introduction about yourself and your photography.
Okay, so my name is Ivan S. Harris. I'm a photographer in San Diego. I've been in San Diego for about, I want to say like 19 years. Yeah, actually, tomorrow it will be 19 years exactly. I moved to San Diego 2005, and I had this dream. I said, hey, I want to just move to the West Coast and be a photographer. And next thing I know, I was a photographer in San Diego, and I've been doing that since then. Been taking photos and having a good time.
Do you consider yourself 100% professional? Like photography is your main source of income?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. The pandemic has been interesting, though. I had to find new ways since I was basically an event photographer. Obviously, the pandemic shut us down and we couldn't congregate. I had to find other methods. And through my love of social media and CSD marketing, I was able to start becoming a social media manager and a content creator. The interesting thing was that I had respiratory issues for a long time. My lung collapsed when I was very young. The fact that COVID was a respiratory illness, it really played towards me not wanting to get back to work because, hey, how can I be around people, right? And then also because I had this newfound love interest and I was making money, I kind of just stopped photography altogether. What happened was content is photography. Photography is content in terms of when you need to post something, right? Because I was a content creator and social media manager and I always needed content, I kind of had to get back into the saddle of taking pictures. So I ended up switching over from events to marketing and branding and products. I would take pictures, do their headshots, things like that, things that were like one-on-one and kind of we could keep our distance 6 feet, whatever. I did that for at least until about 2022. The phone started ringing, and because I had two sources of income, I could say, no, I won't shoot your party today. I don't need to. But as a photographer, when you do it as your bread and butter, you pretty much have to you gotta take all the jobs because that's your livelihood. I still do social media management. I don't do that full time. And photography, because I haven't done it full time for so long, now I'm starting to kind of wrangle it back in because that, like, at the end of the day, the passion for sure has always been photography and social media.
Gotcha.
I love that too. That's
back
where we're at. Back to the roots, but I definitely do both for sure, like 100%.
Okay.
Hey, why not?
Yeah, multiple streams of income, right? Diversification.
Yeah. I mean, somebody's got to do it. There's people that hate social media too. So I think that's one of the things that gets me about that is that I was doing something, professionally that people hate. So I don't know. That's one of those things, man. It's kind of just figure it out and keep moving and see where the wind takes you.
But let's look at your picture showcase. Let's not keep people waiting here. Let me go ahead and share real fast.
Here we go.
You don't know which one I picked. This will be a surprise to you. I picked this as your picture showcase. I love this shot. Just tell the story behind it for the viewers.
Aaron Shaney. So this picture is very important to me because it marks transition. And so Aaron Shaney is a vegan health coach. This guy is cut. Look at him. He's phenomenal. He's in shape. Aaron was my client. I used to work with him when we were both heavy in the nightlife scene. I'm talking about partying, drinking, overweight. I've always been underweight, but just not in shape. not eating healthy, not doing anything that you're supposed to do in terms of when you get older, right? Your body's supposed to, you're supposed to intake certain things and you're supposed to not take in certain things. So one day he woke up and was like, I'm over this,
Wow.
right? Then next thing I know, he looked like that.
Really?
He, he's, he quit nightlife completely. Our colleagues that all work together were like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, I'm done. One day he basically had a blow up with the owners. And now, mind you, we look to him for like, what's our next move? What are we doing? Where am I taking photos at? Where's the media director directing? So now we have to figure out our lives because we relied on him to be like, all right, so this, we're going to be at Hard Rock, or we're going to be at this new venue in the corner, or we're going to, you know what I mean? He literally came back to me and said, hey, Ivan, I would love for you to take my photos. And Nathan, this is what I was telling you before. I don't necessarily have iconic photos in terms of, like I said, Ali knocking out Sonny Liston. I have stories that go with my work. This guy absolutely was a club guy that did not take care of his body. And he woke up one day and said, I'm over it. I'm switching my life. He got married. He's got a kid. Everything opposite in life he does now. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. He's very healthy. He's vegan.
He needs to write a book or something. I feel like maybe he can write it.
I probably could write it for him. I have to ask him. I haven't talked to him in a while. I have to ask him if he wrote a book. But you're right. I mean, because, and I value this photo because it's, like I said, it's transition. He's in the gym. He worked out. He worked his butt off to get to that level. And I will say this to anyone: if you're living in a life that you don't like right now, you do have the power to change it. Now, mind you, it may take a long time. It may not be an easy transition. You may hate it, but you for sure can change.
This podcast is perfect timing for New Year's resolutions, right? End of 2024, going into 2025.
That's true.
Let's take a look at the next one here. Let me stop sharing real fast. Get your next one ready.
Uh-oh.
A totally different vibe than your first feature showcase there.
Okay. 2016. This is Trump's visit to San Diego. Presidential candidate at the time, Donald J. Trump, running for office. At that time, I was the social media guy. And the social media guy was a person that was pretty much a personality on social media. I would go everywhere because if you couldn't be there, I wanted to be there to show you what's going on. I would go on location and I would go live. Now, I was going live in 2016. People weren't even going live yet. It was like,
yeah, that's old school. Go live. Old school.
Yeah,
go live.
Yeah. But they weren't even going live then. I was doing it before it was popular, and people were like, "What is this dude doing?" Like I said, I was going to Donald Trump's campaign in San Diego, and obviously the city was on alert. There were a lot of riots. There was a lot of protests. I think that was SWAT that was trying to make sure keep the peace in San Diego, because we're a little beach town, so we don't need to be protesting or anything. Everything's happy here. It's all good. Why are we protesting?
You didn't get past these people, did you? I mean, you didn't get past this.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I had no credentials, but okay. At the time I'm Ivan S. Harris, so most people know me as a photographer. If they see me immediately, oh, that's Ivan, let him in. He's cool. He's whatever, right? And I'm not trying to brag or anything. It just is what it is at that time period. I really was in the scene taking photos everywhere. I didn't have CBS credentials or anything like that. And so, yeah, I like walked through there, no problem. Went to the convention. Shout out to my buddy Russ. He had the extra ticket for me. Russ is a good friend of mine. I actually did his engagement photos, but he was a diehard Trump person then, and he's like, "Hey, I know you're not biased. Come hang out." I was like, I'm not. Let's go. And so he got the ticket for me, and we were in there.
If there's a will, there's a way, and you found a way. So that kudos to you for pulling that off.
I've tried. I've definitely tried.
Let me ask you a question before we look at your next photo, just to throw you off
okay.
a little bit. What is the best piece of photography advice you've received from a mentor or that you learned in your career that you'd like to pass on to others?
Ooh, I like that. That's a good question. I have three mentors, Mr. Richard Ainsworth. I actually want to give credit to them real fast. Mr. Richard Ainsworth, out of Joliet, Illinois. I think he retired now. He was the first person that kind of took me under the wing and said, hey, come to my studio and I'll teach you everything. He pretty much instilled in me the hard work part, right? Like, if this is something you want to do, then do it every day. Even if you're not taking photos, there's so many aspects of photography that, like, are you in the studio? Are you working on learning your lighting? Are you working on building clients? There's so many things outside of just taking photos. So that's the first thing I would say is dial in to the entire scope or the entire spectrum of photography and try to not just focus on just taking the camera and pushing the button. Think about all the other things. Then there's Jesse Arroyo, my second mentor, who taught me about studio and off-camera flash. Learn off-camera flash. I can't tell you how many photographers I see that are just natural light, and they just think that is photography. Mastering light, being able to control where the light comes, if it bounces here, if it's got some definition, if it's straight on, learning all of those techniques. I'm still learning myself, even after a veteran of 18 years in photography realm. Make sure you concentrate on learning your lighting. And then third, PJ Joseph from After Dark was my third mentor. I had three mentors. PJ taught me the ins and outs of the everyday working. When you're dealing with clients, when you're dealing with customers, when you're dealing with people, how do you interact with these people? How do you make them feel? Do you make them feel comfortable? Do you make them feel like you're a creepy person? Make sure you're cultivating your relationships and your interactions with your clients and your people and anybody that you come in contact with, so that they always feel comfortable anytime you bring that camera around. Because the worst thing that you ever want is someone to be like, oh, here comes that guy. I don't want any photos from him or her. Like, when I come around, if the only reason they don't want to take photos is because they don't want to be seen. Now that's different. Yeah. That's a different story. Hey, you came out and you're trying to be low key. But for the most part, when I come around, people know, oh, Ivan's here. Let me look good, because
you never know.
Yeah. So those three things is what I would want people to realize.
I didn't learn off-camera flash until really later in life, and I'm still learning. So I'll definitely have to hire you for some lessons.
Even with you, Nathan, when I met you, you were shooting. You were using flash, right? You had the flash.
I just learned that the past year and a half.
No, that's fine. But that's the thing. You're taking on new avenues and you're doing it, and that's great. And I applaud you for that. Photography is about light. So you should know how to manage light in any setting. Now, you may not be the best headshot photographer or the best food photographer, but you should be able to shoot food if it comes up. You know what I mean? That's my thoughts on that. I could be completely wrong.
It is a good skill to have. I do recommend everyone learn. I'm still learning how to become better.
Yeah.
Let me get your next picture ready here.
Okay.
Another totally different shot.
Ha! Well, let me ask you this, Nathan. I gotta pop my collar for this one. Do you know who that is?
Derek Jeter?
Oh, he is an amazing. You are a scholar, sir. Okay, so if anyone knows me, they know that I am a diehard New York Yankee fan since I was probably 16 years old.
I'm sorry about this year.
This year was interesting. We haven't been there in 15 years. I know Yankees don't want to hear that, but when you are accustomed to something, I tell people this all the time. If you get milk on your doorstep every single day forever, and then the milk is not on the doorstep, the world ends, right? Because that's not your life. Our life has been, oh, we go to the World Series. And then we don't go to World Series for 15 years. Us being there, it's not even an entitlement anymore. It's like, this is cool. Then the way that they just drop the ball literally so many times is like a gut punch. Yes, that was terrible. But this picture here, Eric Edwards, who is a friend of mine and a longtime client, was the San Diego grounds crew dancer.
Oh, nice.
Yes, he was the guy that would come out at the third inning and do the dance. Everybody's bringing the rake out and they're raking. You think they're going to clean up the infield. Then he'll throw the rake down and just start cutting up, just dancing. And the fans go nuts, right?
Yeah,
they go nuts. Now Eric is a character because I love him to death, but he got everything going. He has an entertainment company. He does this, he does that. He's a massage therapist. He's so many things. But most people know him for being the grounds crew dancer. I was Eric's personal photographer for years and years and years, who just happened to be the grounds crew dancer, who just happens to know that I'm a huge Yankee fan, who just happens to be like, oh yeah, I'm dancing on the 3rd or whatever, the 15th. That's when the Yankees will be in town. I know you want to come and get some shots.
Oh, lucky. That's awesome.
I want to come and get some shots. What? Of course I want to come and get some shots. I don't know if you know this, but Major League Baseball is hella strict on photography. You can't bring cameras in there. You have to be professionally sanctioned. You have to be with a media organization. You have to yada, yada, yada.
The Padres used to be lax on that, though, because back when the Padres sucked, I used to be able to bring my 100, 400, and they didn't care. I promise.
You are a lucky person, because the average person, they won't let them in. I say all that to say, I'm not sanctioned by the Major League Baseball. This picture, I was so close to him. I had a 70-200. I'm already breaking the rules. No one said anything to me, because usually they'd be like, hey, what's going on? No one said anything to me. I was able to just dial in. Bam. I'm looking dead to rights. I got the captain right there. Another dream come true in San Diego. I'm proud of this photo because this was his last Petco Park appearance.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 2013. Yeah, because he retired in 2014 and they didn't play in San Diego.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so shoot, okay, yes. I'll do the wave. That is Derek Jeter's last appearance at Petco Park.
You captured a moment in history. Congratulations. That's awesome. Well, let's take a look at another photo while we're here. 1 second.
Okay, so this is a funny situation. James Law, shout out to James Law. James Law and I were in the trenches of the nightlife photography. We were doing the club stuff. One day, I'm in the trenches, like, we're taking pictures or whatever. And James says to me, he's like, man, I'm about to go to, I think he said Boston. I was like, you going to Boston? He's like, yeah, I'm going to start shooting MMA. Now, mind you, when he said that, MMA was not mainstream. It was not popular. And when he said it, I looked at him like, you're going to leave the jungle where we're at with all this fun? It's nightclub stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
But he said, yeah, man. I said, wait, are you going to be front row? He said, yeah. I said, is there blood going to be splattering? He said, yeah, I love it. I can't wait. He was so excited about it. And for me, as a person that's not necessarily about, fluids or transmissions or anything like that for my respiratory situation, when he said that, I was like, blood splattering? Yeah. But he was so about it. One day, James, out of the blue, calls me. It's like, hey, bro, I got an event in LA. I can't make it. Can you shoot it? I was like, huh? Yeah. So he said, hey, man, can you shoot this for me? So I go up to LA. Now, mind you, I love San Diego, but I love LA, but I love San Diego. Anytime I go to LA, I love it because it kind of re-inspires me, the artistry and the go spirit of LA. I like encompass it, and then I bring it back to San Diego, and I'm like motivated because San Diego's like, we're chill.
It's a different world. It's a different world.
I'll get to it tomorrow. But in LA, it's like, oh, I got to do it yesterday, right? When I get there, I don't know what to expect. I'm here to shoot the Guy's Choice Awards. all the most beautiful people in the world are
Yeah.
doing that red carpet. But I have to keep professional because obviously I'm there on behalf of James and Glory Sports, not even on behalf of myself. I'm there on behalf of somebody else. I have to kill it even twice because I don't want to mess up James's, his
Right.
situation.
Reputation. Yeah.
Yeah, his reputation. So this story, even though yes, it's Jessica Alba. We all know Jessica Alba, a beautiful, amazing, talented actress. The story is a little bit more about how I got to that red carpet to shoot Jessica Alba. And I'm so appreciative of that because a fellow photographer recognized and said, he said, "Hey, man, I trust you to get this done." So I was like, "All right, let's get it." You already know who my source of inspiration is, the guy before. I got to hit this out of the park.
Speaking of celebrities,
Oh
another
boy.
celebrity. You're hitting all the celebrities.
So the sdrabbit.com, I don't know if you know what that is.
No.
So at one point in time, there was a bunch of rabbits in San Diego or something
Really?
like
Okay.
that from what I understand. The mayor in San Diego had this celebration of the rabbits being in San Diego.
That's
Let's Google so I
Kevin
can.
Faulconer, right?
Yes, that's the
Or
former
that's,
mayor. Anyway, long story short, the mayor was doing like a 100-year um, 100-year celebration, and I was there on behalf of the SD Rabbit Society. Being able to photograph the mayor at a
that is
celebration,
that is cool.
for the SD Rabbit organization is like more of me
Yeah.
living this dream in San Diego.
Yeah. I mean, I got to shoot the mayor at a 4th of July party, and I felt like I made it the same way that you probably felt
Oh, for
that you
sure.
made it taking the shot.
I've been in the event space and the entertainment space for a long time. So stepping over into the political and the public professional space was an amazing feeling. I've been fortunate enough to photograph every single mayor in San Diego since I've moved here, which has been phenomenal for me because, like I said, I'm not necessarily in the political photography space. I'm more in the entertainment and hospitality space.
Before we look at your next photo, let me ask you another question here. I know you love questions. So you've taken all these pictures in your lifetime. What do you want to happen to all these photos you've taken when you die, when you're no longer here, like for your legacy? Have you thought about that before?
When I take photos, that's my goal is to make sure that I'm giving these families, friends, clients, or just even a passerby or someone that's just taking a glance for them to be able to look at a moment specifically in San Diego and say, I remember that day. That was a great day. I feel as long as these photos are available in some sort of online capacity, whether it's social media or my website or wherever, that's how people can go back and look at these memories. I always tell people this. I'm literally a historian and a documentarian of San Diego life, San Diego culture. Any photo that I've taken since 2006 is San Diego history. I take my job as a photographer in San Diego seriously because this city pretty much gave me everything.
I have another famous person here ready to look at from your photos. Familiar face or faces.
So this picture right here, first of all, let's talk about that tag at the bottom, 944. I was the senior photographer at 944. It was a San Diego lifestyle magazine that pretty much guerrillaed the San Diego lifestyle. They were everywhere. They were
Yeah,
featured
they were.
everywhere.
They were. I
They
remember
were,
them too.
yeah, they were all over the place, right? So I remember my buddy Bean came. His name's Gary Bean. He came to visit me in San Diego. He saw the magazine. He said, "Man, this is a great magazine." When he said that, I was like, I'm gonna shoot for that magazine. I applied to be a 944 photographer, and they were like, "Beat it, kid. Who are you?" And
They
and
said that
I
to you?
no, I didn't.
Seriously?
Not
Oh, okay.
essentially, but they if I remember correctly, they didn't even respond. It was like whatever, dude. And so I didn't take it personally, but I did take it to heart. So if they're everywhere, I'm going to be everywhere. If they are lifestyle, I'm going to be lifestyle. I ended up working with this company called Club Connection. Shout out to Zach. If you join Club Connection, then you can go to all these different clubs. You just had free reign. You didn't have to wait in line or anything. And I was their
Gotcha.
photographer. I started working with Club Connection, and I'm shooting for all these different clubs and all these different places. There was this party with Mickey Avalon. I'm saying some old school names. I want people to know if they know. If they don't know these names, it's all good. But if they know these names, then I know they've been around. Mickey Avalon and Raekwon, the most craziest connection ever, or collaboration, had like this joint concert party at Below nightclub. So
Below, that's old school there.
that's a super old school. Everybody in the San Diego entertainment nightlife scene was there. I walk in like I own the place, take pictures. I get on stage because, again, this is me, I own the place. I'm just taking pictures of the crowd. I'm getting all these different people, right? Taking photos. The next month, there's a photo of me on stage taking pictures at that Mickey Avalon and Raekwon party. The fact that I'm taking photos at this party, and then the photographer for 944 decides to take a picture of me taking photos. And so I was just like, wait, you guys have a photo? You all have a photo of me in your magazine. Why am I not working there? Like, I should be working there. Basically, long story short, I called them, said, hey, I need to be working there. So I started working there. This picture was at Junior's, one of his, I don't even remember exactly what it was, but it was one of his charity events. It's historic because obviously God rest in peace to Junior Seau. But the two of them were like San Diego legends. I forget his name, but he's the huge journalist. He did all the sports, and they were buddies. Again, more dreams coming true. Me coming to a city, not knowing anybody. The point of this picture was that I definitely was ecstatic to be a part of San Diego lifestyle. And San Diego culture, because these two gentlemen were the epitome of San Diego culture. For me being the photographer that they knew, maybe not by name, but they knew by face, like, he's cool, take our picture, it's all good. To me, it was just always an honor to be able to be in those spaces.
I think we have another celebrity, maybe a celebrity. I'm not sure. You have to tell me.
Oh no,
I think it is. Yeah.
I don't know what this is. Yeah.
I'm not a big celebrity person, but this outfit is wild.
Oh,
that's a nice dress.
Okay, Christy. Christy is huge in Mexico. I can tell you this. There's people on this planet, right? We live in the United States. At any given time, there's someone that is just as big as Jessica Alba in like Southeast Asia or Italy, and we'll never know. So Christy, she's like huge in Mexico. I can't remember her
What's
last
her
name.
Okay, Christy.
I'm almost betting. I might even be saying it wrong.
That looks like the reflection pond in Balboa Park.
That's exactly where that is. I can't remember her name. She would be at some of the parties and stuff in San Diego. I thought she was a beautiful person. I said, hey, we should do a photo shoot. So she's like, yeah, cool. We just did a photo shoot in Balboa Park just like anybody else. I had no clue who she was. As far as, like, I want to say TV host and anything you could think of, she's a big deal.
Done it, yeah.
But in San Diego, she's just cool, just a home girl, just, hey, what's up? Hey, how you doing? And that's it.
She was just visiting here, or she lived?
Well, no. I want to say she lived in Tijuana. Let me see it. Tijuana. They just go back and forth. They live in TJ.
Gotcha.
And just frequent in San Diego and vice versa.
Was this for like a magazine or just her own like personal?
No. This was Nathan. This was just you. I mean, not you. She and I, as artists, doing work.
Cool.
It was as the kids say, it was a trade, but.
That's hard to find these days with Instagram and monetization and all that stuff.
Yeah. Everybody's a star, especially in San Diego. Everybody's a star. It is definitely challenging to find. But so I like this photo just because of the lighting. This is natural light, by the way, but this is a use of lighting to give her face some definition. So that was pretty much what that was about. But yeah, Christy, it's gonna drive me crazy.
I'll get the next one ready here.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, this is at your favorite place. This is a Stingery.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if I'd call it my favorite place because I always got rejected by the girls there. They're super stuck up, but that place was a fun spot.
That's
that rooftop. I love that rooftop.
So Stingery was my favorite club ever in life. There's obviously a story behind that, but obviously everybody knows who this is. This is Beyonce. And then this is Jay Brown. At the time, I was shooting a calendar. I don't think I'll ever shoot a calendar again. But I was going to the beach almost every day, sand in the camera. I think on the 4th month, I had a photo shoot with a model, and her name was Melissa Johnson. Shout out to Melissa Johnson. She brought her boyfriend, Jay Brown, at the time. Now, remember, I told you, I don't care. You could bring your boyfriend, bring your girlfriend, bring your mom, bring your dad, bring your whoever, right? You bring a kid. Like, I want it to be a fun experience when we do a shoot. Jay was an interesting guy because he would offer me direction. Now, at that time, I could have taken offense to it. Now I'm like, I'm down for all. You want me to come this way or do that, or let's try it all.
Yeah, yeah.
But at that time, I was like, I'm an artist. You can't tell me this, right? I'm thinking that to myself, but I never said anything. I never said. Then we get to talking, and he said, "So what brings you to San Diego?" And at that time, I was telling the story. I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna meet Beyonce." And he was like, "For real? That's crazy, because I'm thinking about bringing her out here." And in my mind, I was like, "Yeah, right, guy." But I had been in San Diego long enough that I was like, I never know. He could have a small little tiny sailboat, or he could actually have the mansion. What do I know? I said, oh, shoot, if you bring her out here, I definitely want to shoot, right? I just put it out there.
Bring Beyonce.
Yeah, bring Beyonce. That's fine. Long story short, he said, yeah, man, I'll let you know if I bring her out. 6 or 7 months go by. I forgot all about it, like completely forgot all about it. I get a random call. He's like, hey man, it's Ivan. I said, yeah. I said, oh Jay, what's going on? He's like, oh yeah, so Beyonce's gonna be at Stingery on Sunday, August 25th, 2007. So you should come through. Nathan, I'm like tripping. We didn't talk about booking. We didn't talk about, am I officially hired? We didn't talk about anything. He just said, Beyonce is gonna be at Stingery on August 25th, 2007. All right, cool. Sure enough, she has a concert, and then they do an after party, and she's hosting the after party. Oh, I see the flyer, like, it's real. So I had already been working at Stingery. I don't think I was house photographer yet, but I think I was in the mix. They knew who I was. We go to the Beyonce after party.
Oh, the after party, not during the normal.
No, it wasn't a concert. It wasn't a concert. It was definitely the after party at Stingery. I did not go to the concert. This is the private room. Usually that curtain is open if it's a regular night or if there's no celebrities in the mezzanine.
Okay.
But this one they had closed it. They usher her up the back stairs, and then she comes in. It's like, oh my gosh, she actually is here. Jay Brown. I will never forget this. Comes to the door, opens the door, looks around. Ivan, come with me. Like,
he called your name.
Called my name in front of everybody. Ivan, come with me. Walk in, and her security guard, he looked like he wanted to take my camera and be like, here, man, get the photo, boom, and get out of here. I was going to fight that security guard. Nobody on earth was going to stop me, because intellectual property and copyright and all that good stuff, whoever pushes the button is the legal owner. I had to make sure that I took these pictures because this is exactly why I was here. I go in, And they had a bunch of sponsors and a bunch of different people that helped put the party together. It's like maybe 8 pictures of in this set, but this is like one of the best ones that came out because it was so fast. It was all right, you're
Yeah.
out. Oh my god!
You're out.
And also, I had only been doing photography for a year and a half, so I was still kind of green in terms of photography.
The technicals.
But still kind of green. But I literally did everything that I set out to do in the first year and a half. So, like every dream, I'm going to meet Beyonce. I'm going to do this. I'm going to sing a song on the mountain. Like everything that I said that I was going to do, I literally did within a year and a half. So everything that I've done since 2007 has just been icing on the cake. Like
a bonus.
Yeah, it's been a bonus.
I think we have. I think we have one more picture left here.
Okay.
Let me bring that bad boy up.
Les Kepics. Les Kepics has been the trumpeter for opening day and pretty much the Del Mar races for at least 30 plus years, maybe even 40 years.
Wow.
So
I did not know that.
I shoot opening day almost every year, and he's seen a million people. I like this picture because, again, it talks to me living this San Diego dream. This picture is important to me because being that close to the trumpeter, people don't even know what this guy looks like or if he even is a trumpeter, right? Like, or it's for a woman or whoever. Like, they don't know. They could be in the turf club or they could be anywhere else, and then they hear
they just hear the noise. They just hear the noise and like, oh, I guess the race starting.
Yeah, exactly. I guess the race starting. Let me see if I won or I lost. Yeah, that's exactly right. This was imperative to me because as a San Diego documentator, if that's a word, I just try to capture things that people could, like you said, I never knew. I didn't know that. Being able to have photos and showcase these people, that is my life's work in San Diego.
I love that you got the flag and the palm trees in the background. It really brings kind of Americana of San Diego.
That's San Diego. It's San Diego. Yeah, but like he's a really cool guy.
Is he still the trumpeter for the races? Or
sure is. I was just there. I pretty much take his picture like that every year. I'm like, hey, we got to get our photo. He's like, all right, cool.
Does he use it for his Instagram profile? Or I think he should use it.
Nah, he's got so many photos of himself. He doesn't even care. Like,
right, gotcha. All right, well, I think that's all the pictures, all the questions. Any final thoughts? What's the best way for people to contact you? Instagram, your website? How do you prefer people reach out to you?
I live on Instagram, Ivan S. Harris Photography, and then fashion lifestyle photography. Instagram is like number one. And then obviously my website, ivansharris.com.
Do you have any big events coming up?
Heck yeah, New Year's Eve. I'll be at Hard Rock, and also Urban Society Life and Celebrity Entertainment is doing a club crawl. So that gets you access to a bunch of clubs downtown San Diego. I'll be photographing at Hard Rock.
That is the biggest party in San Diego.
It's one of them for sure. It's definitely one of them. Yeah. There's some other ones too, but I'll be there. Yeah, just ready to take the new year on and keep going. The podcast, I applaud you on that because it's amazing. And then street interviews, I've done that here, and that's like I told you, the social media guy. But I always kind of lose track and get really back into photography and social media, which I told you are my hobbies and my profession. I got to figure something out, but I applaud you because having a podcast is amazing, and then obviously doing the street interviews is amazing.
Yeah, man. Well, we had some great stories, amazing pictures. Appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully I didn't talk your ear off. I'll go. I'll just be talking. At the end of the day, what I want everybody to realize is that I absolutely love San Diego. That's the first thing. I love San Diego. I love the ability to be able to capture San Diego. I appreciate everyone watching.
Yeah, I mean, your photos definitely have a historical feel to them. You did a great job.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that coming from a professional photographer, that makes that is a big deal. I appreciate that for sure.